Hello, I am Xarkun. This is World of Warships Legends. Today I've got a video for you in the Tier 7 British Destroyer HMS Lightning. And the Lightning that I'm driving here is one of the last Tier 7 ships that I needed to acquire, so I pretty recently unlocked it. The Lightning in this game is more or less a stock Lightning. It has all the mods on it except for a mod in the third slot, and it has none of the upgrades, so stock torpedoes, stock hull, stock aiming systems, etc. Nevertheless, I find that even a stock Lightning is pretty effective. Honestly, this ship is ridiculously powerful. I love it so much. But that may be the extent to what I'm going to say about the Lightning specifically. Maybe I'll do another video on the Lightning at a later time with the fully upgraded capabilities. As it stands, though, we're on Haven. We're charging out to the eastern side of the map, trying to do a little bit of spotting, and we do spot an Alabama. Taking a look at the team roster to determine what is the biggest threat to us, and right now the biggest threat is the USN Tier 7 Premium Cruiser Wichita, which is a radar cruiser that has a radar with a 30-second duration. Not somebody we really want to run into. And of course, as I said, this Lightning is stock. Upgraded, I think the torps go out to like 10 kilometers. Not upgraded, they only go out to 8. So I'm not going to be able to hit that Alabama out there. But we do have a Boise sailing into an interesting position here. It looks like he's approaching that little island off to the right of the screen. And he's probably going to try to take up a position to fire at the enemy battleships directly behind me from the cover of that island. Indicator says he intends to sail past it. Don't know if that's the case, so I draw a spread of torpedoes using the tube-by-tube firing method that is unique to British ships armed with torpedoes. And then I turn around, just in case the Boise decides to charge out. Boise, obviously, is very dangerous to me. But instead of charging out, he elects to stop. And he's peeked around the island just so that 3 of those torpedoes look like they're going to find their mark and take him down. He's definitely not able to move out of the way. They do take him down for a devastating strike. First kill of the game and first kill of the match for me. And of course there is a Wichita out there. So I do not want to get close to that Wichita at all. I ask my team to please fire upon this man, since he has a radar consumable which could expose my position for up to 30 seconds, and I'm not going to last very long against him. So, I make the decision to sail over to the other side of the map, which is where I suspect the enemy destroyer is. And of course, the enemy destroyer is a Udachi. So if I can take him out, which I absolutely can in the Lightning, then my team is going to be put into a better position to win. First, though, we've got a King George blocking our path to the other side of the map. Looks like he is starting to speed up, so we launch the torpedoes well ahead of the indicator to account for that. We've got sort of 2 separate spreads going on, and maybe this is not the ideal launch pattern for this situation, but the hope is that at least one of these spreads will hit this King George. Now, I want you to pay attention. The Udachi has appeared in front of me 6 kilometers away. I don't dare engage him with a King George alive there, but pretty much all of the torpedoes hit. King George goes down in a devastating strike, and now I can start concentrating fire on this Udachi. Going to move forward and try to take him out. The Wichita is hanging out behind one of the islands. You can see his last known position on the minimap. And I've got three, battleships hiding behind that large island directly to my left. Don't know what they're doing back there, but they're going to remain there for quite a while. And I suspect it is the positioning of these battleships which contributes heavily to the outcome of this match. And you're going to see what I mean by that. Right now, though, we're firing at the Udachi. The Wichita is actually providing some fantastic support for the Udachi and hitting us, which is not good. Need to take out the Udachi very quickly. I assume he doesn't have his reload booster since so much time has passed in the game. Doesn't look like any more torpedoes are coming. We finish him off, and of course he does have the reload booster. Oh crap! Well, maybe not oh crap. Somehow we managed to escape death by the skin of our teeth. Got 3,700 hit points left, but it was all worth it to take out the Udachi, right? That should give my team a decisive advantage. We are even on ships now, and now that we don't have that Udachi threatening the battleships, they should be able, theoretically, to push out, do some major damage, take these guys down. Particularly that Wichita, who is still hiding behind an island. And you can see that the three battleships that were previously hiding, clustered up together behind that island behind me, have now moved out. One of them is heading straight for the enemy cap, and straight for an enemy Atago. There's the enemy Atago. He is going to torpedo that battleship and finish him off. And then the battleship that's sort of to the north of our cap, toward the northeast quadrant of the map, he's just going to sit there for the rest of the time, and that Atago and another enemy battleship are going to push out. He's going to give them flat broadside and die. So, a little bit of spoilers there, but that's what you've got. The positioning of battleships, even though I would argue that they are possibly really not the most influential class of ship in a domination mode game, I think the destroyer is the most influential class of ship in this type of game, but the positioning of your battleship can be quite influential. If you've all got them clustered up in one corner of the map, then they're not being used to their full potential. You want them spread out. Ideally, what you want them to do is create situations where the enemy team cannot angle against all of the battleships, and in that case, since battleships have huge guns that deal wicked damage, it'll be easier for them to take out the enemies, which is essentially what we need to do here. I think I said domination mode earlier. I meant capture the base mode. That is essentially what we need to do here in this capture the base mode. There's no clear path to the enemy base for me right now, particularly with a Wichita still left in the game, which is why I'm not pushing for it. Instead, I am trying to take out these ships. Narrowly missed that Algerie with the torpedo. Got a Richelieu charging for my position. This is an interesting move on his part. I question the wisdom of it. Torpedoes are almost reloaded, despite the fact that they are the stock torpedoes. They have more than enough range to travel 2.8 kilometers and hit a Richelieu. And this is where the single tube-by-tube fire comes in very, very handy. We do hit the Richelieu and take him out for our third kill of the game, but we're in big trouble here. That friendly battleship to the north of our cap there, he is right now giving broadside, flat broadside it looks like, to an enemy battleship, so he's not going to be around very long. Got a cruiser sailing around toward the bottom of the map. One of the friendly battleships does go down. That just leaves one more friendly battleship and that friendly cruiser And that Wichita, by the way, who I would think should have been focused a lot earlier in this match and shouldn't maybe be alive right now, still is alive. And that Wichita is directly the reason I didn't go into that northeastern sector of the map. Had I done that, I might have been able to clear it out and push onto the enemy base, and the outcome of this game might have been a little bit different. But the presence of that Wichita, acted as a major check to me. And that is where some support would be helpful. If you are in a battleship, then your number one priority, no matter what, is to take out the enemy cruisers, especially if they are enemy radar cruisers. You are best equipped in a battleship to take out the cruisers. They may not give you as much damage per se, or per salvo, as, if you decided to fire at a broadside battleship. But what it will do is it will remove the most dangerous threats to your destroyers and allow them a bit more free access of the map, which is good for you in a battleship because you want your destroyers to spot targets for you. And could I have maybe spotted that Wichita a little bit more? I mean, he did take up a pretty strong defensive position behind that island. It was actually some pretty good moves on his part. But, had he been taken down, I think the outcome of this game might have gone a little bit differently. As it stands, it's 3 ships versus 3 ships. We've got the enemy battleship, or the friendly battleship, shooting at the Wichita, but the King George manages to finish off the friendly Amagi, leaving just me and the cruiser. Now, I'm hoping that this cruiser, it's a Boise, can help me finish off this Wichita. And the Boise does get a good strike on him, but things aren't going to work out that way. The Boise probably takes a wicked hit there from that enemy Alabama, and then the King George finishes him off, leaving me as the last hope. Never something I want to hear, because I only have 2 minutes left. Now, if these games were 20 minutes long instead of 15, it's possible that I could kill these last remaining ships. I could certainly kill this Alabama and the King, or the other enemy King George. I mean, I have all the advantages in the world over them. I'll see them long before they'll see me, and I can launch torpedoes at them. But that Wichita, his continued existence is an existential threat to me. And as it stands, with 2 minutes left to go in the match, there is basically nothing now that I can do to win this game. It's a loss. But I am going to move into position, and I'm going to fight till the end. I'm not going to let the clock run down and just wait out time, wasting these guys' times. I don't like it when destroyers, last destroyer left alive on the enemy team, they just sail around and hide. No reason to do that. Go out guns blazing. So I'm going to do that, but I am going to try and give these guys the best fight that I possibly can. It's very difficult with a Wichita out there, and my deployment of the smoke screen actually makes it so I can't see the Wichita. But I am sailing away. Gonna drop spot. The Wichita is more or less my mortal nemesis at this point. The Alabama hits me with HE, sets me on fire, so that's probably a death sentence to me now, no matter what happens. So I might as well pop out, shoot at the Wichita. I think the Wichita is going to end up finishing me here, but anyway, there's a little bit of a look at the Lightning and a bit of discussion about battleship positioning. I don't mean to be too harsh on my team. I probably could have done things better in this game, and I'm not, trying to insult anybody or anything. I'm just bringing up some suggestions that I think might benefit you viewers watching this. Wichita does destroy me, game ends with our defeat, and there you have it. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't done that already. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.